Hey everybody, this is the Israel View, where I try to take you through the stories, social media posts, and important news of the Israeli-Palestine war, Iron Swords, as we the Israeli call it. I'm gonna try to show you the Israeli point of view, and alright, let's begin. So, uh, today is the 11th of October, which means we are 5 days into the war, and as you can see, the Israeli side lost more than 1,200 casualties, brutally murdered by the Hamas terror organization group. The vast majority are civilians. On top of that, the health ministry in Gaza reports that 1,050 Palestinians have been killed and over 5,000 are injured. Both casualties from both sides are devastating and terrible. And for both, ultimately, Hamas is to blame. And I think the most important and significant piece of news from today, and let me translate it for you, is that Netanyahu, which is the current prime minister, and Gantz, which is a very major politician from the opposition in Israel, will join forces and create an emergency government to handle this crisis and this war. This is very, very important because before this war we were very divided here in Israel between the left and the center and the right of the political spectrum, and I think this is a great move that will help us as a nation to be more united and face the very difficult challenges that are ahead. And also Gantz was the head of the military before he became a politician, so he brings to the table a lot of valuable experience when other ministers like Ben-Gvir or Smotrich do not have any military experience at all. So this will make up for it and improve the decision making, hopefully. Another important piece of news was that the army suspected that a lot of aviation no pilot drones entered the Israeli airspace from the north, from Hezbollah, and there were alerts all over the north because if Hezbollah will decide to take advantage of the situation and try to join the combat, it will be very difficult for Israel to combat both sides at once, and therefore this is something we are really concerned about, and it was very bad news. But apparently, as you can see here, the IDF, Israeli Defense Force, announced there was no aerial penetration. It was a mistake, it was an error, it will be investigated. But for now, Hezbollah does not join the fight. Hopefully, he is deterred enough from both us and the United States. Which brings us to the next major piece of news which happened actually yesterday. Biden's unprecedented speech of support. We are standing with Israel. Hamas is like ISIS. In a sympathetic and embracing speech, the US president expressed his shock at the atrocities committed by Hamas. Entire families have been slaughtered. Women were raped and marched. Holocaust survivor kidnapped. This is pure evil. Their stated goal, the murder of Jews. He did not call for restraint. If we were attacked, our response would be overwhelming and swift. Thank you, President Biden, for this show of support. It's really, really meaningful in this time of need. Now, I wanted to show you two clips. from both of them from support rallies, one for Hamas in Palestine, one for Israel. So here's the one for Hamas. This was taken place in Hebron, which is right here. If you're not familiar with the geography of Israel, this is the West Bank under the Palestinian Authority, and this is the Gaza Strip under the Hamas Authority. Actually, the driving distance can be very, very short, like less than an hour. But of course, both are Palestinians, and therefore they support each other. The other clip is for a pro-Israeli rally in Piace Castello in Milano. Hopefully I pronounced it right. They are singing the Israeli anthem. Very, very moving. Thank you, Italy, for your support. Okay, so the next thing that I want to show you, everything that I loaded was a little bit was refreshed, so now I have to find it again. So Hanoch Daum is a very prominent Israeli social influencer, and I wanted to show you some of his posts. Okay, so this is very funny. There's an Israeli guy that takes the photos of terrorists that support Hamas, that hate Israel, and he pastes their picture with the Israeli flags and hearts, and I stand with Israel, and post it, and it makes them very, very annoyed. It brings us a little bit of laughter in these difficult times. And this one is specifically hilarious because he also put the LGBTQ plus flag here, and of course they are Islamic fundamentalist group, right? If you hold hands with another man in Gaza Strip, you will be executed by the mob. So this is extremely funny. This one is funny. I'll translate it for you. So it's from an elderly lady that survived the madness that happened in the Israeli villages near Gaza, and she says, "I will return to the kibbutz, but I have one condition: that I can see the ocean, the sea, from my balcony." This is about warriors that got a recruitment command, and they are looking for way. And all over the world, a lot of Israelis, thousands, are looking for ways to come back to the country, to recruit in the army. It's very moving. This is one more thing that I wanted to show you here. So you see, this is a plane filled with Israeli guys that come back to the country to serve, probably some girls too. Okay, so the last story, it's a very, very inspiring and interesting story about a woman called Rachel. That what happened was that she lived in a village near Gaza, and when the terrorists came into her house wanting to kill her and her husband, she, in an amazing demonstration of courage in the face of death, offered them cookies and coffee, convincing them to rest a little bit, smiling at them, talking to them light-heartedly. and they agreed, and that gave enough time for the special combat unit of the army, of the IDF, to break in and kill the terrorists. She's now celebrated as a hero, and her story is being talked about constantly. She really is amazing. This was my first attempt at showing you how things are going on here. I'm gonna make one each day from now until the end of the war. Probably will get a lot better in it as time goes. Please subscribe, stay tuned, support this channel, share these videos, because if I'll ever make money from making this channel, by video advertisement, by sponsorship, anything, by contributions, these funds will go directly to the soldiers. So this is a good way to support them. Of course, you can just contribute to any charity that you'd like in Israel. I can provide it. Contact me. And that's it. See you soon. See you tomorrow.